Where are we? After a month-long hiatus, where are we right now?
We are at fucking WeFest, dude. I couldn't be happier. I am in my element right now. The vibes are electric. Dude, cowgirls walking back and forth. I'm just mesmerized. I don't.
Wallen would be proud. Speaking of that, Wallen's headlining tonight. That's going to be an electric concert.
The fact that I'm in the same vicinity as Morgan Wallen blows my mind. Like, we walked by his trailer earlier, and my eyes were just locked on it, dude. I'm like, he's got to be there.
Dude, shout out to Leighton Broadcasting for hooking us up right now. We are in an electric campsite right now in the sponsor tailgate area. And I'm just going to say, Wild Country 99 hooked it up for the boys. We're sitting here, unlimited nice iced teas, unlimited fireball shots, food coming out, cookers that I didn't even know existed. I'm excited for tonight.
Dude, this is like nothing I've ever been a part of. I just feel like this small town boy that's like, oh fuck, I shouldn't be sitting in here right now.
I totally agree with you. This is such a weird feeling. We pull up to the front gate and they're like, yeah, where you guys need to go? I was like, honestly, I have no idea. We're with Leighton Broadcasting. They're like, oh, yep, right this way.
I want to say we pulled a full finesse coming in. I was starting to freak out, dude. If you didn't notice, I was really quiet when we were pulling in. I'm thinking like, this is going to be so embarrassing. They're about to make us turn around in front of everybody. Like, I don't even know where we're going to park, where we're going to go, how this is going to work. But the boys fucking finessed their way in.
We got VIP parking with 0 credentials, and we just bullshitted our way right into the event.
Dude, the only thing that they got me for was a $20 golf cart ride, but I'd do that 10 times over.
For sure. Okay, Sam, this is both of our first times ever at WeFest. What's your expectations for this festival that we're at right now? Like, how do you think tonight is going to play out?
Yeah, so I guess my personal plan. So right now is the calm before the storm. We're sitting in the campsite. There's supposed to be buses pulling up with dozens of people on them. Shit's about to get crazy. So right now I'm kind of just feeling out the vibe, getting a few drinks and figuring myself out. You know, how am I going to handle the night? But overall, the plan is to drink as many Busch Lights, nice iced teas, whatever I can get my hands on. Get as drunk as possible all night. See Morgan Wallen. Probably lose my voice. I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm a Morgan Wallen fangirl.
I totally agree. I cannot wait to see Morgan Walmart himself right on stage, on the big stage in front of everyone.
After Morgan goes, and I feel like at that point I'll just be on cloud 9. I won't really know what to do with myself, and I'm nervous for what comes after that.
We've been told that there is 10 times more people on the way right now, and there's probably thousands already in there. And I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because my gauge when I'm drinking, if I'm in a huge crowd of people, I cannot tell how drunk I am until I'm by myself.
100%. I'm going to have a moment later tonight where maybe it's in a porta potty. Maybe it's just maybe I'll wander over to a random spot where all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, there's no one around. But I'm going to have that moment where I'm like, damn, get yourself together.
You ever been sitting in a big group of people and you're just like, you're all down in beers and all of a sudden you stand up and you're like, oh, I'm way more drunk than I thought I was.
Oh, definitely. For me, it's more than not, when I get too drunk in a group and I'm by far the drunkest, I'll have that moment of like looking around being like, oh man, what is going on here? Like, I'll be so in the moment of the drink, and then I'll catch myself. I'm good at catching myself being like, buddy, slow down a bit.
You need to chill.
It's time. Like, you're about to make a fool of yourself tonight if you don't figure your shit out now. I used to be very bad at adding in the water. I have come a long ways in my life of drinking. I actually turning 24 tomorrow, so now
happy early birthday, Sam.
I'll have 3 years under my belt of the bars. I've grown a long ways since then.
What do you think? What do you think you wish you would have known when you turned 21 when it comes to the drinking atmosphere?
Okay.
Especially going to a place like this. Like, we went to Winstock a couple months ago, and now we're at WeFest, which is even bigger than that. What would you say, or what would you tell your 21-year-old self to prepare for an event like this?
So to prepare for an event like this at 21 years old, I would have had no idea what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, but all I would have in my mind is getting extremely drunk.
Yep.
And probably getting too drunk too early to where all of a sudden it's hot and I'm not feeling the drinking anymore. Maybe I'm sick. So my advice to myself would be, hey, play it out a little bit in the morning. Slam some water, get yourself real hydrated before you start hitting the liquor. And then this is where it gets switched up a little bit because I'm going to highly recommend slamming a lot of beers in a small amount of time.
Okay.
But then that's where you have to have that catch yourself moment.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, it's really hot out. I've sweat a lot. I've had 15 Busch Light within 4 hours. I'm probably going to black out soon. Mix in a water, maybe a little bit of chips, maybe a hot dog.
Get some food in your
Anything you can get your hands on. And just have a moment of like, all right, a couple waters, a little bit of food, collect yourself, and then just try to make it through the night.
I'm a big fan of now in my older age, I would say past 25, the hangovers hit way harder. And I'm going to say I'm a big fan of the liquid IV method. And slamming a liquid IV right before you go into the event, I think is necessary now.
Absolutely.
Get two of them, one pre-event and one post-event. And that's, I think, the best thing that has ever happened to me is finding something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be liquid IV. We're not tied to them. Until they start paying us, we don't give a shit. Anything like that.
100%.
But if you slam one pre-event, slam one post-event, you'll be sitting just fine. Anytime I've ever done that, and I don't know if it's specifically that, but I feel great. It makes all the difference.
100%. And for me, advice that I would like to give somebody, especially for a full weekend event like this, is don't be afraid to slam as much water as possible and prepare. Get that liquid IV ready to go on your bedside table in the camper, however you're sleeping, in your tent. Get it ready to go. Make sure you drink it.
Yep.
And also, don't stay up later than you need to. If the vibe is gone, just go to bed. Especially if you have a girlfriend and you're not staying up to try to get laid.
Yeah, that's tough. We
Just
got
go
a
to
show
bed.
starting right behind us. I don't wonder who's playing right now.
Dude, I think it's BZ going on behind us.
Is it? No, I think he's coming up soon, though. I don't think he's playing right now.
I hope not.
I hope not either. We might miss it.
So that's one thing for me is you have to be smart about drinking water and going to bed at a decent time early in the weekend because you could set your whole weekend on a bad path.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of times where, like, let's say the boys are going camping. We all fucking load up our coolers. We get out in the boat. We set up a campsite. And that first night, we just get smashed. Well, that second day, no one's out of bed until 11. Everybody feels like shit. You're out fucking shitting out in the woods. It sucks. You know, it's probably not solid.
Yep.
It's like, just take care of yourself a little bit. You
You're
don't
right.
have to send it every night.
Oh, we have confirmation behind camera that it is Bailey Zimmerman performing. We're fucked. We're missing the performance right now.
Bailey Zimmerman's letting it rip. You know, I think firsthand, I wanted to experience if he was the shitty-ass singer that people let him out to be.
I don't think that's the case. I really don't. But those videos, the videos that were posted of him on TikTok, you saw those, obviously.
Those videos made
Dude,
him
that
look
was
rough.
bad. That
it
was
was
bad.
horrible.
It's a tough time, though. Think of it. The guy's young. He's in his early 20s. You know, he's just performing. He's on tour. I think you think it's the case of just a couple long nights going on?
Definitely. I think it's the long nights, the heavy drinking, the staying up late, and then all of a sudden you just are pushed up on the stage, dude.
Yeah.
My voice, I've lost my voice for 6 days at a time just from screaming at, like, a wild game or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine having to perform on like Thursday and then Saturday and then Tuesday and then Thursday and then Friday. You know what I mean? Like they pack those guys' schedules in. If you look at a tour schedule, dude, sometimes it's like cities that are close enough, like let's say Minneapolis and Fargo, you'll have that a Friday then a Saturday.
especially if they're not that big, I'm sure their tour bus situation probably isn't as comfortable as like Morgan Wallen's would be. You know, you're maybe even in like a Sprinter van or something.
The budget is off a little bit, is
You
what
know,
you're saying.
I don't know, man. I couldn't handle that life. Like all that travel every single day they're basically traveling. And when they're not traveling, they're practicing.
I would say the money that comes with it would make it a hell of a lot more doable for me. If you're making, you know, hundreds of thousands, maybe not even quite millions, but even hundreds of thousands, I'd do it. I'd do it for, 6 months, and then I'd call it a day.
Well, I think that's kind of the beauty of it and how they make such a substantial amount of money in a short period of time is they go, they perform, they're on tour for 3, 4, 5 months, and then you just take it easy for a little bit. You collect that bag and you just hang out.
And you just chill. You just spend the money and then wait for the next tour, wait for the next album. What would be your first move? Someone gives you a $100,000 bag to go on tour. What would be the first city that you would want to pick? And also, what would be your first move on spending that money, you think?
So it depends on what type of artist I am. For WeFest reasons, let's just say I'm a country artist. I think my first place I would want to perform, and in this fake scenario, let's also pretend I'm actually country. I'm not a Minnesota guy. I hit those small bars. I earn my way up the chain. I think it's got to be Nashville. You got to kick her off in Nashville. And then from there on, I want to hit the South, man. I know these northern people can party. We love our country up here.
Yep.
But it's just not the same.
I think for me, the first move would be a Minneapolis show. Just because, like, if you're on the come up, if you're popping, the hometown show is like the show, right? Like that's where you're from. That's where people know you're from. I guess some people could just say they're from anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
But, I think for me, the Minneapolis show would be the funnest one.
Fucking Oliver Tree. He
killed
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm from Minnesota. I remember looking up
You're
being
like,
like, this
bullshit.
motherfucker's from California.
I'm sure he just says that at every single show. How much, you know what blows my mind? I've been to a lot of concerts in my lifetime, and what I've come to realize is that a lot of the stage performance, the theatrics of it, I think is overplayed. Some of it is overplayed. You know, like when they get the crowd going and they're like, this side, clap loud. All right, no, it's this side versus this side. This side, clap loud. You know, like everyone does that.
Dude, thank you for bringing this up, because I want to tell you firsthand, I fucking hate that shit. I never cheer in the, all right, everybody on this side, go. And then,
what's the easiest way to, you think, get the crowd riled up without being like cringy about it?
Dude, it's
an art
That's a
form.
great question. That's why the best artists are who they are, because they've got that charisma, they've got that skill that just brings people in.
They do.
Instantly. And I don't have that yet. You know, I don't even, I've thought about this a million times. Like, if I'm on stage, what am I doing walking across the stage to try to get the people ripping?
Yeah. Also, the stage presence alone. I mean, that makes or breaks an entire concert.
That
if
is
you're
why
moving around, or if you're moving around too much, then it's awkward. There's definitely a happy medium.
100%, and that's why someone like Taylor Swift, not only does she have banger after banger, her stage presence is fucking phenomenal, dude. Like, if you see all these videos of her, she's prancing around,
switching clothes mid-set.
Oh, her outfits are top tier.
One of our friends just went to the Taylor Swift concert in Minneapolis, and she said that Taylor Swift had like 6 wardrobe changes. And it was the entire concert is all her. There's no opener. She's the headliner, and she is everyone performing in the thing.
Didn't even know that.
There's no one that opened up for her. She just plays for like 6 hours, 5 hours straight.
I just saw she brought Ice Spice on stage, and I was
Unreal.
like, what the fuck?
What a weird combo.
I never saw that combo coming in a million
What
years.
a weird combo.
Dude, hear me out. Taylor Swift, Morgan Wallen do a song together. It would be...
Yeah.
I can't imagine the numbers it would be.
Yeah, that'd be electric. Imagine a Lil Durk Morgan Wallen concert.
Bro.
I would love that.
And it's the set is half and half of like Dirk's homies and Wallen's homies. Like, Morgan's got Ernest with him. He's got Hardy.
Yeah.
He's got his big dogs. And then Dirk's bringing like fucking DaBaby. DaBaby's going to pop off on stage.
Start yelling at people for being gay.
Oh, that shit was wild. That was a festival just like this year.
Yeah.
Imagine Morgan gets on stage and he's like, every gay person fucking has AIDS. Like,
dude, I could not imagine being a part of that. He got so much flack for that. Like, I think it actually ended his career.
I don't know if
it definitely shot him down, for sure.
I don't know if it would have completely ended his career, but the way he handled it was wrong. He could have came back.
He just doubled down on it.
He doubled down, and then he just kind of disappeared, and at that point, it was game over.
It's game over.
And honestly, his music, when I look back, like, he had some bops, but I don't know. It makes sense that he ended like he did. You can never kick a good man down.
Right.
Is the saying. And
right.
He's not a good man, apparently, because he got kicked down pretty fucking hard.
Here's the problem. I think a lot in the music industry is just very political, and it's like if you're not on the Spotify playlist, then you're not on the charts. Like, that's just how it is. And those playlists that we've come to find out with some people that we know in the music industry are just controlled by big labels.
Yeah.
And if you're not in good graces with the big labels, it's way harder to make it independent. It's way harder.
Well, that was the whole thing with Chance the Rapper when he was coming up. Is like, he was the OG independent guy, and he got a lot of credit for it. Then it turns out he wasn't actually as independent as he played
Right.
on. But like he kind of set, even though he was a fake, he kind of set the system up for other people.
They call it Findy artists, where it's like, you know, you're indie if you're independent.
Yup.
Findy, it's like fake independent.
100%.
And that
That's
was
exactly what he was.
Kehlani, Logic, Chance the Rapper. There was a lot of them all at the same time that were considered Findy artists because they claimed that they were independent, but they're really not.
Yeah, so this is not country related, but I'm glad you brought up Logic because up until about 2 months ago, I had no idea that he was black. I thought
Well, he's half black.
But needless to say, I had no idea. And the thing is, I thought he was just a ballsy white rapper that said the N-word. I was like,
Really?
dude, this guy's wild. And I was telling my
Turns
buddy,
out he's got the pass.
I was telling my buddy this, and he's like, bro, he's black. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I pulled up his picture, and I was like, shut the fuck up. He's not black. And then I looked up Logic's parents. And I fully believed that he was
Dude, what a
black.
rough come-up story, too. Like, he was talking about how when he first started coming up and all his family would, like, dog on him for not giving him money, and it's like he did give them all money. They just spent it all. He said, like, basically there's a certain point where you have to realize you can't give certain people money because they just won't use it in the correct way
No.
anyways. There's a reason why some people are broke. There's a difference
100%.
between poor and a difference between broke. And some people will just remain broke for the rest of their lives.
If you have bad money managing skills when you're broke, just because you're rich doesn't mean it's gonna make it better.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that, you know, when they get a promotion, they'll just go out and buy a brand new car, brand new side-by-side, brand new motorcycle, whatever, to fill that extra bit that they're making. You never said, what are you going to spend that first bag on if you're going on a big tour?
So is this after the tour, like I made all my money, collected all my checks?
Yeah, let's say the money's in your bank account. Let's say you just got $250,000, $250K sitting in your checking account right now. What's your first purchase?
Okay, so obviously there's like the big purchases. Like I don't own a house. I don't have a very nice vehicle. So those are the obvious ways to go. But
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
going to go into...
Let's break it down even further. Your first frivolous purchase, like something that you don't need but want.
You read my mind, brother. That's exactly where I was taking it. So one thing about me is I have always just dreamed about being that rich guy that flies all his friends out to Vegas, gets the penthouse,
Oh yeah.
fills the hole with strippers.
Like a presidential suite of some sort.
Yeah, something just wild where, like, all my boys are looking around like, dude, this is the craziest thing I've ever experienced. Thank you so much. Like, let's fucking rip it. I want to be able to take 10,000 cash out of the ATM, hand $1,000 to all the boys, be like, let's hit the strip club and go.
Damn, that'd be crazy.
I mean, I feel like you don't get to experience shit like that. You know, everybody dreams of that penthouse. And I think I kind of look at myself as like Steve will do it. That's how I want to be. I want to just hook my friends up. I want to hook the homeless up. I want to say crazy shit.
Yeah.
And slam liquor bottles.
I would love to do like some crazy shit to my friend's stuff and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not only replacing it, I'm giving you 10 times better thing.
The David Dobrik model.
Yes, where you like go up like you take your buddy's car and you crash it, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, dude. Oh yeah, here's the keys to this brand new Cadillac Escalade that I just bought it.
Be like, hey man, can I borrow your side by side today? It's just,
Yeah.
just so, or no, be like, your buddy
Go
has a
jump it.
golf cart. Be like, yo, can I rip your golf cart today? Smash it. He's like, what the fuck? You pull up with a brand new Can-Am or a fucking Razor. It's like, golf carts are fucking lame, buddy.
Why don't you hop in this thing?
Here's the keys, pal.
I
Wouldn't that
think-
feel so cool for like a
would be
deserving friend?
sweet.
The guy that was there for you, like, that's one thing I want to do is like hit the people that were there for me, you know? Because those
Yeah.
are the ones that really deserve it.
First off, let me just give another shout out to Leighton Broadcasting and Wild Country 99. We're sitting here recording this podcast, and Bailey Zimmerman is, I'm going to say, 100 feet from us right now performing on stage. What an electric vibe out here. I
Dude.
cannot even imagine being in a different spot.
And we haven't seen anything yet. This is just the start of a beautiful night. Like I'm so nervous to see where this goes. When Morgan comes on, the white girls are gonna go wild. I haven't seen any titties yet. I'm really praying. I've been looking around, dude. You know,
Carter, Sam said he hasn't seen any boobs yet. Would you mind showing him one?
oh my God.
Carter's got
For
it.
those of you,
There you go.
you guys can't see, but Carter's just got a beautiful rack right in front of me. But hey, let's hope that's not the only rack I see tonight. You know, we're gonna try to get a kill tonight. We'll see what happens. The boys are buzzing. You never know, baby. You never know.
Sam's all in. Carter and I are wingman for him. We're gonna see how it goes.
I forgot beads. That was a big mistake on my part.
Is that a thing? Is beads the thing at the festivals?
So I saw some people wearing beads. It was less people than there was few enough people where I wouldn't have rocked the beads. I'm not one of those guys that's going to set the trend or be one of the few that's just throwing beads when it's not the thing.
Yeah.
If I saw over half people with beads around, I would, you bet your ass I'm jumping in on that.
Wow.
Dude, why wouldn't you, bro? I mean, I guess you have a wife, so I see why you might not.
Yeah, that would deter me personally.
There's nothing like surprise boobs, man. You're just minding your own business, doing your thing, and you look over and it's like, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that moment. Let me shake your hand.
Well, Sam, what do you think we take a little break here? Why don't we get JD on here? JD with Leighton Broadcasting on this and have him break us down a little survival guide for WeFest. He's been here a few times.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think I want to go check out Bailey, see what's going on.
Yeah. All right.
We'll be right back.
BRB. TTYL.
Hey, bitches.
You need a new bitchin' hat?
Head on over to the description of this video and click the link for twistedbitchcattlecompany.com. Use code ONTAP10 for 10% off your next order to get yourself one of these bitchin' hats.
Don't be a bitch.
But this guy, Cody's got like radio in him. He just doesn't he's got even the timing down to it.
He's
even
good.
with the podcast. Like even with the podcast, you've got that radio.
I appreciate that. I don't want to brag. I did host our senior night for radio in Pine City.
Holy
on
shit.
WCOP.
Wow.
Senior night on the radio.
We
actually got cut short.
Why did they cut you short?
We were taking song requests, and we would just queue it up because they just had their computer with the producer desk or whatever connected to YouTube. And so people would text in. We just said, hey, text in your song request. And it was just my cell phone number. And they would text us, and we just play it, whatever it was. It's actually like a Christian country music radio station. And we were just playing
and you were a senior in high school?
Yeah. So we didn't really care, We were like, whatever. Yeah, we got cut short because people were calling the radio station and complaining about the music selection. So
you gotta help the town out.
Yeah, you gotta expand the genre. You gotta expand the listener base to what they're doing. You can't always just listen to Christian country music.
I didn't even know there was Christian country music till today.
Oh, it fucking slaps.
It's a huge genre.
What's a big what is the biggest?
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea.
Okay,
I have
no
no idea.
I didn't even know it was Christian country. I thought it was good country. I've never even heard of that shit.
I don't think it's all Christian necessarily, but I think there's a lot of Catholic views there.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
How's your first WeFest going?
Dude, it has been a lot of fun so far. I'm going to say we're already riding a high because we got in at the front gate. But they're like, where are you guys going? And I was like, hey, we're with Leighton Broadcasting. They're like, okay, vendors over here. We just pulled right in. We're right front row.
That's what
it's great.
And you're new to the game, too. Like,
right?
That's what people need.
You just got to be confident.
Yeah.
If we were confident coming up, they didn't even question us, and it just worked out. There's no way we should have made it where we made it, but we did it, and we're here, baby.
Yeah, we're here having a good time, getting ready for Morgan Wallen tonight.
Oh, I'm excited.
I can't, I think back to Morgan. So Morgan Wallen, I just want to tell you a quick story. Morgan Wallen came to, I used to be at one of the big major market radio stations for a long time. So in country, what that means is that the artists come to you first.
Yeah.
The labels call you. They're like, hey, we got this new artist. We want to bring him by the radio station.
What year is this?
This is probably 16.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're going to bring him by the radio station. So they do that with all of them.
Yep.
But we'll use Morgan for an example. Clay Honeycutt, who at the time ran his record label, and he was like, I got this new artist, and they already brought Chris Lane out. So it was a new record company. So what Morgan's on is a really new label.
Yeah.
And so they had Chris Lane first, and then he's like, all right, we got this other artist. We're going to bring by Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen at the time had, if you've ever seen it, he had like the bowl cut with that part hair. And,
yeah.
And Clay's like, so what are we going to do? and what ends up happening, they'll come into your radio station either at lunch or at dinner, right? And then they'll say, all right, afterwards, they'll stay all night, but they want to go to dinner, and you have dinner with the artist. I tended to not like a stuffy dinner, so I would try to go somewhere fun. So Clay calls, hey, we're going to have this guy, Morgan Wallen, come by. And me and Morgan, He does his thing at the radio station, which is really cool. He plays his songs, and I'm like, okay, this guy's really good. And
Did he just like cue up like a song?
No,
that
he
had?
he sings
He
it.
sang it in person.
In person, yeah.
Dude,
so
how nerve-wracking.
for them, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they-
100%.
We can. That's a whole different podcast with radio tours.
Right.
But no, radio tours. These artists, they go radio station to radio station across the country with just them and a guitar. Sometimes a guitar and a guitar player, and they sing their songs for you. And we're in charge as radio programmers of what we like and what we don't like, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's intense. And Morgan was one. I knew it was good. I heard Up Down and The Way I Talk. I heard those.
Both bangers.
Yeah, I heard
love
those
songs.
two songs, and I was like, all right, this guy's pretty good. But anyways, so they come in and they do that part that we talk about that sucks. And then he gets in my truck, and we go to my favorite bar outside of Pittsburgh where I went to all the time at Celebrations. I lived in Pittsburgh at the time. I don't think we talked about that. So we go to Celebrations. We sit on the back deck. It's me, him, his guitar player, Clay, and maybe one more person, maybe. And we're having, what you guys would call cheese curds, but it was like chicken finger. You know what I mean?
What do you call it?
Well, we don't have cheese curds, so we
You
would. But
just for deep fried cheese, or what do you call it?
we don't have any of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just a Minnesota, Wisconsin thing, cheese curds. But
Okay.
that's
I
what
didn't
you
know
get. But you get that at the bar here. You
Yeah.
get cheese
Yeah.
curds. So I had whatever we would have gotten in Pittsburgh, mozzarella sticks.
Just
And-
longer cheese curds.
right. And so we go there, and then we go to watch Bad Company Joe Walsh, and we both buy the same Bad Company T-shirt. And if you Google maybe Morgan Bad Company, you'll see it. And it's sleeveless. His is sleeveless. Mine, I kept the sleeves on it. But yeah, that was our first time hanging out.
That's crazy.
and
So what was your first impressions of Morgan Wallen? So at this
The
time
m-
he was what, like early 20s?
Right.
What was he a humble guy, or was he
Yes.
was he a loud personality? Like
Not at
what
all.
was he pre-fame?
He was Southern, and sometimes Southern, you're just kind of like we really can't read them very much. Like it's just like
Did he have like a lot of manners, Southern?
he was just
yes
like
sir, yes,
yes
ma'am.
sir, hey, yeah, how you doing? And I play guitar, and he wanted to buy his. At the time, he was asking me about guitar pedals, and that's what's in front of a guitar player when they're playing. But he asked me, he was like, "What pedal do you like?" He goes, "I'm thinking about buying my guitar player a pedal," and I was like, "I like the Full Tone 2 Overdrive," and so he was that was our conversation a lot of the time. Then we had a good time at Bad Company, and then he came back and played shows, and but I would have never guessed him to be the biggest star
So
in the world.
That's
Like,
where I was
yeah.
gonna go with this.
Yeah.
So you had all these people coming and touring. You were meeting all these artists, and some of them would blow up. Some of them you would never hear of them again. With Morgan, you were just like, this kid's good, but we'll see where it goes.
What I kind of always said was, you can tell who doesn't have it.
Yeah.
When they come through the door, you're like, that's not going to work. Who's going to become a star is always a little difficult. Like, you know the ones that are going to be hits, and they all end up, 9 times out of 10, they're hits. But usually you just go, that guy doesn't have it. Morgan had it.
Yeah.
You knew that.
That charisma,
yeah.
just that star power.
Yeah, there's something, like artists, they have something about them. When they walk in a room, you know who they are. And if you don't know who they are, you know there's somebody, and you're like, why is that somebody?
Yeah.
Like, there's
Right.
always, it's always that. You
What do you think makes that? Is it the way like that they carry themselves into the room, or like what do you think is the format that makes you turn heads when you're walking in?
Well,
Like what makes you notice a person, you personally, as someone who's had to be on the judging end of that, what makes you think like, oh, this guy sucks, or this guy might have something?
when they walk in a room. And the music can win you over, but like there's a walk and a look to them that they have it. And when you say why they all have that, every single superstar that we think of, they all have that. But they've also, like, who wants to be in front of 30,000 people?
Right.
You know that not like that. They have to want to be. They have to really in their minds believe they are good enough
To do that.
to get in front
Yeah.
of 30,000 people with a band, but also with their name out in front.
Right.
That
So
is- that
if
is a
it
confidence-
sucks, like your name's on the line, even
And that's
if
a
it's not
confidence that you can't teach. Like
Right.
No, that's something built in you.
Yes.
So who was the first person that you met that came in, played a song, you hadn't heard of him really as a big name yet? Who was the first person where you're like, oh, this guy's a fucking star? Was there anyone that walked through your door where you just knew beforehand they were gonna blow up?
Yeah, and he didn't become a star.
No?
No, like that's like so a lot of them when they come in, when you see Thomas Rhett for the first time, okay, he's got it.
Yeah.
When you see, I'm trying to think of the ones that came through: Thomas, Brantley Gilbert, Morgan Wallen, Hardy. I knew had it. By the time they get to radio, they've pretty much passed that test a lot.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, all right, they're going to be a star.
Yeah.
Because like Morgan, if you'd have told me Morgan Wallen was the biggest country singer since Taylor Swift, I would have been like, I don't know about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Like,
the numbers don't
yeah.
lie.
So I'd have been like, he's good, but that good, you know. And then, but like, there's like, I remember I left to answer your question. It was Frankie Ballard, and I ended up being wrong. I mean, he had Sunshine and Whiskey, which you might not know, but that was a hit. But I left Frankie. We went to Crave in St. Louis Park, and I left that, and I already saw him play guitar, and I saw his music, and I went home to my wife. I went, this is the first artist I would invest my own money in.
Yeah.
Really?
And I would have lost. I mean, I would have made money. Like, he did well. Like, I don't mean that in disrespect. Like, but
Right.
I thought Frankie would be headlining WeFest.
That's crazy. So what do you think separates these, like, the mid-level talent from the superstars? Do you think, in my mind, I always think you see these classic stories of these mid-level stars getting into some sort of drama, some
That
sort
could
of
happen,
headline, and then it ruins their career? Or do you think that some of this mid-level fame gets to some of these people's heads and that blocks them from becoming that superstar status? Or what do you think blocks the majority of the real talent from getting to that point?
They might do something that blocks him. I didn't think about that. That theory is pretty good.
I've always thought about it like that. I don't know
so-
why, but it's just like, you know, if you have it,
luck.
what
Luck
stops you?
is hard work meets opportunity. That's
Right.
what I've heard that millions of times. Hard work meets opportunity. Sometimes it's opportunity, and at the right timing. Like I met artists that came out in like 2015, 16, that are really good, but they were more traditional sounding artists, and they came out at the wrong time because everything was Florida Georgia line.
Right.
It was
Ahead of their time.
ahead or behind.
Right.
It's timing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's a good
like
point.
if Luke Combs comes out in 2013, I don't know if Luke Combs is a star today.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody was going after like Sam Hunt, Florida Georgia line.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of that pop country.
Yes, but the pop country got so to the point where people didn't want pop country, and then Luke Combs looked different, sounded different, and they went, all right, this is good. But and I mean, we Nashville country radio kept Chris Stapleton out for a long time
Yeah.
Yep.
because he didn't look and sound like what we were doing at the time, when really the audience wanted it.
Well, and even look at someone like Zach Bryan and Tyler Childers.
Yeah.
They came in at the perfect time where people want more of that old style country, slow, meaningful, and it's worked out fucking awesome for them. I mean,
Right.
I think Zach Bryan's the next one. I mean, he's obviously famous.
He's
as fuck
already there.
now.
But you're looking at now, so it goes in order. I think if I was a country singer right now, my country would lean rock. Because
more Hardy style.
I would lean rock, like early Eric Church when Jason Aldean first came out.
Yeah.
I would lean rock because history follows itself. So we went traditional, rock, pop. Now we're back to traditional. It should go to rock. It should. We'll see what happens. But because there is nobody rocking. There's no Brantley Gilberts right now.
Maybe we'll see a big Catholic country uptick here.
I hope not.
I like the rock getting into the country world. I think
Right.
it adds a little more bass.
and
to
they
it.
did. I mean, it's just it'll be a little, but
And there's
More
something to
rock.
be said for the showmanship too, because
Oh.
there is something about, like, when you go to see an artist, you know, the people always say you don't want to meet your idols, and I think that's one of the reasons, because, like, if they don't meet your expectations, it drops, you know, their stock in your mind. Do you think that plays a part in people getting turned off from an artist if they're genuinely talented, but they go up on stage and they're just standing in one spot, or they don't have a coach or someone to, like, tell them, hey, you need to do this, or they're not maybe working out enough. They don't have the
100%.
physical fitness to be able to jump around on stage. You know, I've definitely seen that too.
Yes.
Where it's like, I saw Pitbull 2 years ago at Jingle Ball,
Okay.
and
KDWB.
it was KDWB.
Yeah. I worked there.
Pitbull has obviously like 30, 40 years of performance under his belt. The guy had the most electric performance of anyone on stage. I'm not a huge Pitbull fan, but I was so into that performance that I was like, man, I actually really like Pitbull.
Yeah.
I think that would sway my opinion one way or the other.
For sure. And that happens with country singers too. Like there's not too many artists that have boring live shows at country radio or country music that make it this far.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you worry about that with artists that have slow songs.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I like
You
there's
bring out the chair.
yeah, and it's like, oh,
sit
it's
down.
yeah, we're gonna slow dance. Look in your eyes.
I
What's
mean,
that
does
mouth
that
do,
does that
girl?
get a crowd going? Is that
No, there's never been a slow song that ever got a crowd going.
yeah?
You
You're
know,
right.
67-year-old age, they
What-
might get into it a little bit more.
What slow song got the crowd going ever? None.
I'll have to think.
Keep thinking.
I can't
Are we going BPM or are we going like slowness? How?
Slowness where you put your private parts next to each other and slow dance.
Oof. My Humps was a banger.
Yeah,
Will
I
I
don't know
Am,
if that-
Fergie.
I don't know if that makes the cut.
Nobody's first wedding dance was My Humps. If they were, they
Damn.
are fun.
If I had my wedding post this interview, I think I would have had
I wish-
My Humps.
It would be an absolute banger.
What was your wedding song?
It's a great question. You're gonna put me on the spot right now.
How
my
do you
wife's
not
not
know-
gonna be happy. I
You
don't remember.
You don't remember your wedding song?
Jesus
I
Christ,
don't.
you got married a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I didn't pick one song on the playlist.
But you had did they not pick the first dance now?
Yeah, she did.
And you don't remember
And
what
you
it was?
don't know the song.
If I heard it, I would say yeah,
That's
that was
fucking
it.
ridiculous.
Here's the thing.
dude.
Here's the thing.
I
I'm not a traditional country guy. It
didn't have to
was
be
a
country.
traditional country
Oh.
song. So, it was just something that I know that I wasn't super into. You know, it was in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
moment. The lyrics were good. I was into it. You know, my wife looked beautiful. We had a great first dance. But I don't remember the song. I remember the moment. I was too in the moment. I'm going to use that.
Oh,
as
that's what
I was too busy staring at the beauty of my wife. that
Everything
first
we
day.
just did, and go. I don't remember. I was just too in the moment.
I was too in the moment.
Oh, that's
She was
very-
just looking beautiful under
Yeah.
the spotlights
See,
of my DJ.
This is where the charm kicks in.
Yeah.
This Cody is a great on. You get him flustered, he's got something just to reel you back.
He is charming.
Because I mean, he outplayed his pond. I mean, Taylor's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
He had.
Yeah, you gotta have something.
he
I don't
had
have
the
looks.
finesse. He
I don't
had-
have looks. I don't have money.
He put a
It's
pic-
got to be something.
He put a picture up with his family the other day,
Yeah.
and I went, I know he's good at Photoshop. So he photoshopped this girl in here. That's not his
Yeah,
wife.
Yeah, I
that
found
ain't his
her
girl.
Adobe stock and I just
Yeah,
put her
I was
in
like,
there.
my man is great at Photoshop.
He's like, oh, they'll believe this one. I got him.
So you've been to a lot of concerts in your day. Is
Wow.
there one person you think that stands out that's like I would go to that concert whenever I can?
Eric Church is my favorite. So that's
Really?
Let's take Eric Church out of it. I saw Eric Church, and there was a bar in Minneapolis called the Caboose. I saw
Yep.
Eric early. I
The
saw
Caboose is small.
Yeah.
I've been there a
I
few
saw
times.
I saw Eric with 800 people.
The capacity is what, like 300, 400 people in the Caboose,
Right.
And that's packed.
So Eric Church comes out. This was 2009 because I moved to Minnesota in 2009. Yeah, I moved here, and I go to the person. Eric Church is playing the Caboose, which is the bar we talked about.
Yep.
It's a small bar, and I go to the person that would be in charge of me at the time, I guess boss, and I was like, can I do the intro for Eric Church? Which means I go on stage, hey, what's up, it's JD Greene with K102, what's up, everybody? And they looked at me like I asked, yeah, if you want to go to the Caboose?
whatever.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, go ahead and do it. So I go there, there's maybe 600. It was early Eric. And everybody sang every word to every
Really?
single song.
That's cool.
And I go back to my boss. Now it's a different boss. I go back to my boss. I go back to her boss. And I'm like, his name's Greg Swedberg, one of the most powerful people in country music. I was like, hey, Eric Church, he's got a fan base. People are singing every word to every song. And he looked at me and he went, yeah, I know. Get out of here, peasant. And so now the next time he's back is that Easter. Because I remember it was Easter because I did the intro again. And I'm very what's the word I'm looking for? Witty. And I was like, welcome to church, everybody. It's Easter. And I got booze. No, I was like, and so he does his show. Now it's completely sold out, probably over capacity. People singing every word, every song. I go back on Monday, said the same thing. We got it. You love Eric Church. We get it. We'll go ahead. Now and then he plays again, same exact thing. He plays outside the Caboose, 3,000 people, every word, every song, all that stuff's
Wow.
going on. And he has no hits on the radio yet.
That's
and I'm like,
crazy.
and he's one of the first that really had that because this is before like other platforms and Spotify
Yeah.
and stuff. So now he's playing a bar in Minneapolis. It was like more of a arena, not arena, but like a place that had seats and everything. There was probably 5,000 people there. And finally Greg comes to this show, right? And it's about a year and a half later. And Eric plays, they sell out a beer. It's the biggest party ever for Eric Church in Minneapolis, which is a good market. I go to work on that Monday because that happened on like a Friday night. I go to work on Monday, My boss, Greg, comes out. He goes, "Did you see everybody singing every word to every song for Eric Church?" I was like, "I've been telling you that for a year and a half." He was like, "Oh yeah, brag. Yeah, go ahead and brag." But I was like, "This." So Eric was the one. The minute I saw him live, I went, "Oh my God, I love Eric Church."
He has a good stage presence too.
Yeah, it's just
So-
but like if you're gonna go to a show and you're a music for my Kid Rock's probably the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like-
can't even
I could see
imagine.
that.
Yeah, I mean
I
if
could
you're
see
gonna if
that.
you're gonna say who's the, like he play it's insane. So Kid Rock's a really good show, but Eric's my favorite, so that was a subjective opinion.
Especially Kid Rock on the Woodstock '99, the way
Yeah.
he comes out.
You weren't even born yet.
Oh, but I watched the documentary 3 times. Man, that shit spoke to me. I would, if I could go in a time machine, go anywhere. I'm going to Woodstock '99. I'm getting in on
Really?
the fires.
Yeah,
I'm just enjoying the chaos.
I had friends there.
You had friends over there?
Yeah, I mean that was the year I graduated high school.
So you're sitting there like, holy shit,
Mhm.
fucking, there's a fire going there. I hope they're
But
okay.
no, we didn't do that because it was that's how we did not have the internet in '99, so we did not know that was going on. I mean, we knew that like if you had MTV on at that time of year, you might have looked at it, but like I didn't know. I watched the documentary. I didn't know any of that
Yeah.
happened.
People came home with a story from that event,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Couldn't even imagine.
So you're hitting the radio game. You're a young man. You know, you're just finding your way through radio. Do you remember a certain time where you were in a room or you were at an event where you're looking around like, holy shit, how did I make it here? Like, this is crazy. I shouldn't be here right now.
Plenty of times, but one comes to mind, and it's not more musicians. It was more like so I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I'm obviously a Pittsburgh Steeler guy.
Yeah.
And we used to host this thing at 96.1 Kiss, and we've talked about this. I'm friends with Bonix. Bonix is Wiz Khalifa's DJ,
Yep.
all of that stuff. So Bonix is hosting this event at Margarita Mama's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This doesn't exist anymore. It was dollar drinks for the ladies on Thursday nights.
Nice.
And the Steelers would come out. All the Pittsburgh Steelers guys. Like
Yeah.
Ben at the time, Jerome Bettis was just out of the league.
Oh, damn. So it was like the who's who. People are going.
And Kid Rock. Kid Rock played that night. I did not remember that until we're telling this story.
Uh-huh.
So there's like this little VIP thing above, like you're looking down. It's not much, but it's a VIP, and it's Kid Rock, Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward, and all these guys. And me and Jerome Bettis do a shot. And I was like, I'm in this room with like all of these guys, like, and it was before I ever saw Kid Rock live, to be honest with you. So I didn't know Kid Rock was really good live.
Yeah.
This was I don't. This would have been like 06, 07, and it was all those guys. And I went, how did I get here? Like that. And then it became so my kids get pissed because around that time I go out to L.A. I go to Vegas for something, then I go to L.A.
Yeah.
And my one buddy used to run RCA Records. And he was like, you want to go to the Playboy Mansion for this party in a couple,
True.
like
Holy
on
fuck.
Saturday? I was like, nah, I'm not going to go. I got an early flight, so I'm not going. I said no because in my head, I thought I would be invited again to the Playboy Mansion. Never have I been. Like, my kids are so mad at me. They're
Oh,
like,
man.
They're like, this, like, even they're like, I'm disappointed in you. Like, you could have went to the mansion and you didn't. I didn't. I thought that it would be another opportunity, and there hasn't been.
Well, is it even a thing anymore?
I don't know.
There's a lot of
I
controversy.
feel like it's
there.
really died. The Playboy
Yeah.
model itself has
Right.
just
This-
died at this point.
But it was like, and I remember telling him, I'm like, it was my buddy Peter. I'm like, nah, man, I got a flight tomorrow morning. I'll just get out. And he was like, you don't want to go? And I'm like, I'll go again. I'll go next time.
oh,
I'll
man.
go next time.
Next time.
And I've
What
never,
year was this? Was
Oh.
Hugh Hefner still living?
Yeah, 05. It was before.
Oh,
it was before my. It was
it was
before my
still
daughter.
going then.
Yeah, my daughter wasn't born yet, and because it was like yes.
So that was peak Playboy Mansion. Like this
guess.
was high.
Yeah.
This was everyone
we're
that's
good.
Everyone who's going.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it anymore.
That would have been sweet. I actually got to visit Hugh Hefner's gravesite in LA when I was there.
Yeah.
So it's kind
Weird
of cool. Got
flex.
to pay respect to the
But
guy.
so those are the times that you're just kind of like, ah. But a lot of the artists that we all look up to for the last 10 years before they become stars, I've had, you've had dinner with them, you've done shows with them, you've done things, so you kind of get to know who they are, and
Yeah.
you're almost like proud of them. You're like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when, even for someone like me, like let's say I find an artist when they only have a couple thousand monthly followers, and it's like, damn, this guy's good, and you kind of stick with them through the years. As soon as they hit that big break, you almost feel like you're a part of it. It's like being a Steelers fan.
Right.
You know, they make it to the Super Bowl. It's like, I'm at the fucking Super Bowl. This is my team. We're in this together, baby.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like the community of it, you know? Do you think that if you don't have a way to build this community, I think social media has made that a lot easier, but if you don't have a way to build this community, do you think that it stunts your growth as an artist? I mean, even outside of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, it's amazing, like, what all this has done for like, if you don't have this, they don't, like, it's a big part of everything. It's a big part of what we do. You know what I mean? With our radio DJs, I have to explain to them all the time that I'm like, you're content providers. Like, you have to be on social. Like, if you're not doing stuff on social, you're gonna lose. Like, it's like, you know what I mean?
It's the way to grow. It's when you're making content, if you're not posting consistently and posting often, your numbers will drop. We've taken breaks before, and it is crazy how even 1 week of not posting anything will change your numbers so much. And then it takes twice as long, if not 3 times longer, of being consistent to get back at the level you were. And it's a grind, man. Social media is not as easy as I ever thought it would be.
It is, and there's a reason. Like, you used to put they got famous because of YouTube.
Right.
And it used to be kind of you just throw it out there. Now, they got famous on YouTube. Like, it's respect.
Yeah.
Like,
that's huge. Like
it's not as easy. Everybody thinks, I just put a video. I'm going to go put a video up tonight, and I'm going to be famous tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works.
It ain't working, brother.
It's not how it works.
No.
You got to have that consistent. You got to, like, relevancy is like sort of a flame, you know? And that flame goes out way faster now than what it did 10 years ago.
Hard work meets opportunity
Way faster.
is luck. So if you keep working hard, you're going to find something, luckily, and hopefully it goes. Now, if you don't find the luck in that, might not be as, I mean.
So now, being in like, let's just say showbiz, what do you think is like, what is like the fastest route for an artist to get through the radio station circuit? Because in like the old model is like, I need to get my song on the radio so more people can hear it, and then I'll get more famous.
I'm going to stop you. It's not the old model anymore.
Okay.
I mean, it is to an extent. So,
or I should say a model.
So
there's just so many other routes now.
You can become, at least at country. I mean, other formats, I'm speaking country. You can become really big on your own. If you want to become a star, you got to have country radio. And they'll tell you that. Jelly Roll, who just had a hit at country radio, will tell you that. He watched everything blow up the minute he had a hit on country radio. So that is it's a real thing. I don't know other formats. I can't speak for them. But radio for country is still a big deal. Like Jelly Roll had a hit at country or at rock radio, and it wasn't quite as big when he would do it live. But at country radio, makes you a star. So for a country artist, I would tell them to get a record deal. But you got to get a record deal because now you have to have a record deal because you have to get big on social media. You have to like, so it's,
you got to prove yourself pre them giving you a shot.
So it's like, just do like, so it's getting seen on socials. It's the whole game, and then hope for a record deal.
Right. Wow, that's crazy. It's just such a grind all the way around. Like if you don't make something your passion and something that you just put all your focus to, people notice that and they perceive it as he doesn't want it. Not necessarily like, hey, you know, it's tough. Some people can't handle that.
I think the days of going in a studio with an auto tuner and singing songs and thinking you're going to be in a star is over.
Really?
Yeah. I think that you have to have everything else.
Yeah. I would agree.
You have to go on your Facebook or Instagram Live or your TikTok and just sing songs. Like,
yeah.
And then sometimes you do record a song and then it becomes a TikTok thing. I get all that happens.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about post 2020 after pandemic times that the brand has a lot less weight to it than the individual. And then, like, if you individually stand out, it is not just like a conglomerate of something else. You know, for example, let's take like Coca-Cola. You know, like people are losing trust in big brands, and it's really going towards like, I mess with this one person, not the whole corporation. Mm-hmm. And I think that's definitely helped people in the music industry because that is you, like you said, like your name is behind it. It's Morgan Wallen performing in front of 30,000 people, not this company on stage putting on the show.
It's not Big Loud Records.
Right. Yeah, most people probably wouldn't even be able to say what record label he's on.
Yeah.
Just, hey, I'm here for Morgan Wallen. I
don't know what any artist's record label is. I never know. I don't even.
I feel like that's almost one of those things. You have to be a fan of them to know that.
Yeah, like that makes you normal.
Yeah, I can't believe just how TikTok has like Bailey Zimmerman, dude. Bailey Zimmerman was nothing until his TikTok sound started blowing up. Mm-hmm. There was a couple different types of videos people would make. You know, he was really his sounds were insane, and next thing you know, he's performing on WeFest. You know?
I imagine there's a machine behind that too.
I was thinking the same thing.
I was thinking that too. Like I don't think it's just.
He has very little content out.
There has to be
pre him blowing up.
Yeah,
like,
there has
there
to
was
be some-
he had
there's
a
something behind
debut
it.
album, and then all of a sudden he's famous. That does seem a little sus to me. So there's definitely some firepower behind that in some realm.
Yeah.
There has to be, because you see these artists that like come up being independent and then get a record deal. They have a whole discography that is a mile long.
I mean,
there's just,
TikTok's in the making.
He
money
doesn't have
business.
that.
They're in the making money business, so somebody probably. It's all. That's another podcast another day. Everything's a scam, somewhat.
100%. JD, I think it's about time to end this podcast and party for the night.
We gotta do a real one of these in your basement.
You're gonna have to
thing.
come to the studio.
Yeah, I got stories.
Oh,
for
hey,
days.
we were in the basement. We're at the rooftops now, baby.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Oh, my bad.
Upstairs.
My bad.
The
But but
upstairs.
when you watch the video, though, it looks like
does
you're
look
down.
like a basement.
You're down in somebody's basement
I
drinking
love that.
beers. That's why I meant it that way.
That's what we hope for. That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thanks
yeah,
so
well,
much
thanks for coming on, dude.
man.
No problem.
We
Can't
appreciate
wait.
it.
We'll do a full episode and
soon.
break the stories
Hell
out
yeah.
and have a few more drinks.
Any last word for the WeFest people here?
Stay hydrated, but they're already watching this too late. So you stayed hydrated, and you're watching this. If you didn't stay hydrated,
If you survived WeFest and got to listen to this, we know you stayed hydrated.
I hope you're not pregnant.
Cheers.
Please, God.